Tommy thinks he finally knows who is standing beside him in this war, but the truth is far darker. While Chicago is burning and enemies are closing in, one person is already planning the endgame. Tariq didn't come here to help Tommy win. He came to make sure Tommy loses at the right moment. Tariq's arrival in Chicago does not feel random, and that is the first warning sign most people ignore. He does not show up loud or desperate. He moves quietly, watches more than he speaks, and listens to every detail around him. This is not the Tariq who once acted on emotion. This is a version that has learned one clear lesson from the past. Survive first, explain later, when he steps into Tommy's world. It looks like support, but under the surface it is strategy. Tariq understands that Chicago is unstable, and unstable places create chances for people who think ahead. Tommy believes Tariq is there because of shared history and old bonds. From Tommy's point of view, loyalty still means something. If someone has bled with you before, you trust them until they prove otherwise. Tariq knows this mindset well, and that is exactly why he can walk in without raising alarms. He plays the role of the younger ally who wants guidance, protection, and partnership. But his eyes tell a different story. He is studying the power, balance, the cracks in Tommy's crew, and the enemies circling closer every day. Episode 10 quietly shifts focus in a clever way. Instead of showing Tariq making bold moves, the story places him in the background of key moments. He is present when decisions are made, when tempers rise, and when threats are named. This is important because Tariq does his best work when others are distracted. While Tommy is focused on revenge and survival, Tariq is mapping out who will fall first and who will be left standing at the end. He does not rush, he waits. There is also a hidden reason Tariq needs Tommy alive, at least 4. Now, Tommy is a shield. As long as Tommy is the main target, pressure stays off Tariq. Enemies look past him. Law enforcement stays focused elsewhere, and chaos keeps attention divided. Tariq understands that the safest place in a war is sometimes right next to the biggest threat. But shields are not meant to last forever. Once they stop being useful, they get dropped. What makes this setup dangerous is how calm Tariq appears. There is no anger in his voice, no fear in his actions. That calm is not peace. It is control. He is not reacting to events in Chicago. He is waiting for the moment when one small push will cause everything to collapse. And when that happens, Tommy will realize too late that Tariq was never standing beside him. He was standing behind him, already counting the cost of betrayal. Tariq has never believed in loyalty the way Tommy does, and that difference shapes everything he does in Chicago. For Tariq, loyalty is not a bond. It is a tool. It is something you use as long as it keeps you alive and gets you closer to control. The moment it becomes a risk, it loses its value. This mindset did not come from nowhere. It was built through loss, betrayal, and hard lessons that forced Tariq to grow up fast in a world where trust often leads to death. Tariq watched what loyalty costs Ghost. He saw how trusting the wrong people slowly destroyed his father's empire from the inside. Friends became threats, family became pressure points, promises turned into weaknesses that enemies could exploit. Tariq learned that power does not disappear because of outside forces alone. It collapses when emotions take over strategy. That is why he refuses to repeat the same mistakes. Every move he makes now is measured, distant, and calculated. When Tariq looks at Tommy, he does not see family. He sees a powerful but unstable force. Tommy leads with his heart, and that makes him dangerous in the short term but predictable in the long run. He reacts when someone crosses him. He trusts when he feels a bond. Tariq understands this pattern and quietly uses it to his advantage. He speaks just enough truth to earn trust and hides everything else behind silence. To Tommy, Tariq looks focused and loyal. To Tariq, Tommy is simply part of the board. This is why Tariq's presence feels controlled rather than emotional. He does not argue for leadership or demand respect. He lets Tommy stay in front, taking the heat and making the noise. Meanwhile, Tariq gathers knowledge. He pays attention to who questions orders, who hesitates, and who is already thinking about survival over loyalty. These details matter more to him than guns or money. Information is what keeps him ahead. Another key part of Tariq's motivation is fear, but not the kind people expect. He is not afraid of death in the usual way. He is afraid of losing control. Every decision he makes is about keeping his future clean, protected, and free from emotional chains. Working with Tommy gives him access to resources, protection, and chaos without forcing him to fully commit. It allows him to stay flexible, and flexibility is Tariq's greatest weapon. In Power Book 4, Force, Episode 10 makes this clear through subtle moments. Tariq never promises more than he can walk away from. His words are careful. His reactions are calm. Even when violence rises, he stays focused on outcomes rather than revenge. This is not a man trying to save a partner. This is someone preparing for the moment when saving himself will require someone else to fall. Tariq's real motivation is simple but ruthless. He wants power without exposure, control without attachment, and survival without regret. Tommy represents strength, chaos, and history, but history is heavy. Tariq is building something lighter, colder, and easier to escape from when things go wrong. And in his world, things always go wrong. That is why betrayal is not a question of if, it is only a question of when and how clean the exit will be. Tariq's plan is not loud, fast, or emotional. It is quiet, layered, and designed to work even if things go wrong. That is what makes it dangerous. He does not rely on one move or one person. He builds a situation where no matter who wins the surface war, he still walks away ahead. While others are focused on guns, territory, and revenge, Tariq is focused on pressure points. He studies how people react when they feel trapped, because trapped people always make mistakes. One of the first steps in Tariq's blueprint is staying invisible. He never puts himself at the center of any conflict. He lets Tommy take that role. Naturally, when Tommy argues, threatens, or attacks, Tariq watches and learns. He sees who backs Tommy without question and who hesitates. Those moments of hesitation matter more than loyalty speeches. They tell Tariq who might flip when fear grows stronger than pride. By the time chaos peaks, Tariq already knows where the cracks are. Information is the real currency in Tariq's plan. Every conversation he hears, every warning he receives, and every secret shared around him becomes a weapon later. He does not rush to use this information, he stores it. He waits for the moment when revealing one detail can cause the most damage. This is how he lets enemies destroy each other. He does not need to pull the trigger if he can guide someone else's hand. Episode 10 drops small clues that reveal this strategy. Tariq asks questions that seem harmless but are perfectly timed. He lets others talk while he stays quiet. When danger rises, he never fully commits to one side. That distance protects him. If things turn bad, no one can clearly blame him. If things turn good, he can step forward and claim his place. This balance between presence and distance is intentional. It keeps him clean. Another key part of the blueprint is timing. Tariq understands that betrayal too early creates enemies, but betrayal too late removes opportunity. He waits until emotions peak and trust is weakest. That is when people are easiest to push. A single lie at the right moment can start a chain reaction. A delayed warning can cause the wrong person to walk into danger. Tariq's power comes from knowing exactly when to act and when to stay silent. What makes this plan work is that it does not depend on Tommy's death alone. Even if Tommy survives, the damage will already be done. Relationships will break. Crews will turn on each other. The structure that once protected Tommy will weaken. And in that confusion, Tariq can slip out or step up, depending on what benefits him most. This flexibility is the heart of his strategy. In Power Book 4, Force. This kind of betrayal fits Tariq's evolution. He is no longer reacting to danger. He is shaping it. He understands that the smartest move in a war is to make sure everyone else is fighting the wrong battle. By the time the truth comes out, it will not matter anymore. The game will already be over, and Tariq will be standing somewhere safe, watching the fallout he quietly helped create. Tommy's greatest strength has always been his heart, and that is exactly what makes him vulnerable now. He believes that shared blood, shared pain, and shared enemies create bonds that cannot be broken. This belief has guided him through chaos many times before, and in his mind, it still works. When he looks at Tariq, he does not see a threat. He sees a young man shaped by loss, someone who understands what it means to grow up in violence. That shared understanding lowers his guard in ways he does not even realize. Tommy trusts his instincts more than plans, and those instincts tell him that Tariq is not the enemy. Tariq never challenges Tommy's authority directly. He never tries to take the spotlight. Instead, he offers quiet support, smart comments, and a calm presence during tense moments. To Tommy, this feels familiar. It feels like partnership. What Tommy does not notice is that real partners argue, disagree, and reveal emotion. Tariq does none of that. His calm is not loyalty, it is distance. Grief plays a major role in this blind spot. Tommy is carrying loss, anger, and unfinished business all at once. These emotions keep him focused on immediate threats rather than long-term danger. When someone is openly hostile, Tommy reacts fast. When danger is quiet and patient, he struggles to see it. Tariq understands this perfectly. He never gives Tommy a reason to explode. He stays just useful enough to be trusted and just quiet enough to be ignored. There is also history working against Tommy. He remembers Tariq as a kid who needed guidance, protection, and approval. That image has never fully left his mind, even though Tariq has changed. Tommy still views him through the lens of the past. This makes it hard for him to imagine Tariq as someone capable of deep, cold betrayal. To Tommy, betrayal comes from enemies, not from people who once sat at the same table. Tariq knows this and uses it without guilt. Another part of the blind spot is Tommy's belief in honesty through action. If someone stands beside him in danger, he assumes their intentions are real. Tariq stands close, but never fully inside the fire. He positions himself where risk is limited and exits are clear. Tommy does not question this because he is too busy charging forward. He mistakes proximity for commitment. That mistake creates space for betrayal to grow unnoticed. In Power Book 4, Force, Episode 10 shows how silence becomes a weapon. Tariq rarely promises anything, and Tommy never asks him to. That lack of clarity feels like trust, but it is actually uncertainty. Tommy fills in the blanks with hope instead of caution. He believes he understands Tariq because of shared history, but history does not define the future. Strategy does. What makes this blind spot tragic is that Tommy is not stupid or careless. He is emotional, and emotion clouds vision. By the time he senses something is wrong, the damage will already be done. Trust will have weakened his position, and loyalty will have made him predictable. Tariq does not need to attack Tommy directly. He only needs to wait until Tommy realizes that the one person he never questioned was the one quietly preparing for the moment when questioning no longer matters. When Tariq finally moves, the damage will not hit one person at a time. It will spread fast, like falling pieces that cannot be stopped once the first one drops. That is the real danger of his plan. He is not aiming for a clean win or a single target. He is setting up a situation where confusion, fear, and mistrust explode all at once. In that kind of chaos, everyone gets hurt, even people who never saw it coming. The first domino to fall is trust. Once the idea of betrayal enters the room, nothing feels solid anymore. Allies begin to question each other. Every silence feels suspicious. Every move feels like a setup. Tariq understands that trust is harder to rebuild than power. Once it breaks, even the strongest crew starts to weaken from the inside. People stop protecting each other and start protecting themselves. That shift alone can destroy an empire without a single shot fired. Tommy's circle takes the hardest hit because it is built on loyalty and shared history. When cracks appear there, they spread quickly. People who once followed orders without doubt start hesitating. Hesitation in this world is deadly. It slows reactions and opens doors for enemies. Tariq does not need to attack these people directly. He only needs to let fear grow and let doubt do the work. One wrong assumption can lead to the wrong person being blamed, and that is when violence turns inward. Innocent people also get caught in the fallout. Not everyone in this war chose to be part of it. Some are pulled in because of family, love, or simple bad timing. When Tariq's plan shifts the balance, these people become exposed. Protection disappears. Safe spaces vanish. The cost of power is paid by those who never asked for it. Tariq knows this, but he accepts it. In his mind, survival is personal. Everyone else is responsible for their own choices. There is also a wider impact beyond Tommy's immediate circle. Rival groups watch closely when leaders fall or weaken. They move fast to fill empty spaces. Violence spreads, and new threats rise. Tariq's betrayal does not end the war. It reshapes it. New players step forward. Old ones disappear. And the city becomes more unstable than before. This instability creates opportunity, but it also creates more danger for everyone left behind. Emotionally, the damage is deep. Betrayal changes people. It makes them harder, colder, and more dangerous. Tommy, if he survives, will not come out the same. Loss of trust leaves scars that never fully heal. The same is true for others who believed in loyalty and paid the price for it. Tariq understands this and still moves forward. To him, emotional damage is just another cost of doing business. In Power Book 4, Force, this domino effect fits the theme of consequences. Power gained through betrayal always leaves something broken behind. Tariq may walk away safer and stronger, but the world he leaves behind will be more violent and less forgiving. Every move he makes pushes others closer to desperation. And desperate people do unpredictable things. That is the real risk of Tariq's plan. He may control the first fall, but once the dominoes start moving, even he cannot fully control where they stop. The damage spreads wider than expected, and the cost becomes heavier than planned. In a world built on power, betrayal might bring short-term wins, but the long-term pain always finds a way back. Episode 10 does not scream betrayal out loud. Instead, it whispers it through small details that only make sense when you look at Tariq's behavior closely. This episode is built on pauses, half-finished conversations, and moments where Tariq says less than expected. In this world, silence is never empty. It is usually full of intention. Tariq understands that the best plans are hidden in plain sight, and episode 10 carefully places those hints without drawing attention to them. One of the biggest clues is how Tariq reacts during moments of high tension. When plans fall apart or pressure increases, most people panic, argue, or demand answers. Tariq does none of that. He stays calm, almost distant. His face rarely shows shock or fear. That calm is important because it suggests preparation. People who are surprised by chaos react emotionally. People who expect chaos stay controlled. Tariq behaves like someone who already knows where things are headed. Dialogue also plays a major role in exposing his mindset. Tariq avoids strong promises. He uses careful words that leave room to escape later. When others speak about loyalty, family, or standing together, Tariq listens, but does not fully agree. He lets those words hang in the air without committing to them. This is not accidental. By avoiding clear promises, he avoids future blame. If things go wrong, he never technically lied. He simply never gave everything. Another detail many viewers miss is how Tariq positions himself physically in scenes. He often stands slightly apart, not fully inside the group. This distance mirrors his emotional separation. He is present, but not connected. When plans are discussed, he listens more than he speaks. When decisions are made, he accepts them without pushing back. This creates the illusion of trust while keeping him free from responsibility. It is a subtle move, but a powerful one. There are also moments where Tariq seems more interested in outcomes than people. When violence happens, his focus is not on who got hurt but on what changed because of it. He watches how power shifts, who looks weaker, and who gains control. This tells us that he is thinking several steps ahead. He is not reacting to events. He is studying their effects. That mindset belongs to someone planning something bigger. Episode 10 also feels intentionally incomplete around Tariq. Certain scenes end without clear resolution. Conversations cut off before answers are given. This creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is key to his strategy. The story avoids locking Tariq into one clear role because he has not chosen his final position yet. He is waiting for the moment when revealing the truth will bring the most benefit. Until then, mystery protects him. In Power Book 4, Force. These quiet details matter more than explosions or gunfights. The show has always rewarded viewers who pay attention to behavior rather than words. Tariq's behavior in Episode 10 is consistent with someone preparing for betrayal. Nothing he does is wasted. Every silence, every pause, and every careful response adds another layer to his plan. By the end of the episode, the clues feel heavy once you notice them. Tariq is not drifting through events. He is measuring them. He is not confused by the chaos. He is using it. Episode 10 does not confirm betrayal with one big moment. It confirms it by showing a man who is already mentally gone, already planning his exit, and already deciding who will be left behind when the truth finally comes out. One of the biggest clues is how Tariq reacts during moments of high tension. When plans fall apart or pressure increases, most people panic, argue, or demand answers. Tariq does none of that. He stays calm, almost distant. His face rarely shows shock or fear. That calm is important because it suggests preparation. People who are surprised by chaos react emotionally. People who expect chaos stay controlled. Tariq behaves like someone who already knows where things are headed. Tommy's circle takes the hardest hit because it is built on loyalty and shared history. When cracks appear there, they spread quickly. People who once followed orders without doubt start hesitating. Hesitation in this world is deadly. It slows reactions and opens doors for enemies. Tariq does not need to attack these people directly. He only needs to let fear grow and let doubt do the work.